Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Play by Play Off Air Online. And what a jam-packed show it's going to be again today. As always, how can we not? I mean, the talk of the town, Sasha Feinberg Ngomazulu, his performance against the Argentinians over the weekend was absolutely sublime. And so many people talking about it being a near flawless performance. So between myself and my guest, who I'm not going to divulge just yet, we're going to unpack Sasha's performance and how the Boks are going to fare against the Argentinians coming up this weekend, of course, in Twickenham, in London, against the Argentinians for the final curtain raiser, for the curtain come down, whatever you want to call it, of the Rugby Championship. Of course, New Zealand also up against Australia. We're also going to talk to Tebogo Mokoena, Bafana. It is official. They've been docked to 3 points, and it has a massive bearing on what the log standings look like in the qualifiers for Soccer World Cup. And it doesn't look too good, so we're going to unpack that as well. And then, of course, we're going to wrap things up with none other than the Cricket World Cup, the Ladies Cricket World Cup, which is South Africa are taking to the field on Friday. That should be a really, really exciting game. But without further ado, let me introduce you to my guests. I brought out the big guns for the show. We'll start in order of looks first. Tara Lee, good evening.
Good evening. I'm so excited to be here because you're right. So much has happened this weekend, from the URC and the statement win that the Stormers had over Leinster. I can't even believe it.
Yeah.
To the Rugby Championship, as you mentioned, Sasha Feinberg Ngomazulu. Then, of course, there was Premier League action. We know what's happening with Bafana. And what I'm very excited about right now is the Women's Cricket World Cup.
Well, I see you've come in your full-on cricket women's outfit here. Are you excited? Let's not dive into this very quickly. We went beauty before age. So our other guest on the show is the man that actually sits on play-by-play every Saturday morning, 8 to 9 a.m. with me. Adrian Endley, good evening, brother.
Good evening. I thought you were going to come to me first, I'm not going to lie. You said looks first. I'm sorry, Tara.
No.
My bad. Gosh.
Slow down. Love, laugh, and live. That's what your t-shirt says.
Yeah. I'll just follow up my t-shirts.
Normally, you come in here in a kit, like you're normally in some sort of Springbok jersey.
Yes.
Are you feeling it? I mean, Springboks over the weekend, is your blood green and gold?
No, my blood
are
is
you
very
excited?
green.
Are you sashing up? What's the story?
Do you know what's actually really funny is I couldn't watch the match on Saturday because I was at a wedding. And it's so funny whenever you're like at one of those sort of events when there's a rugby game playing, because inevitably there's going to be like a table that's busy watching it on their phone.
Yes.
So I was busy. It was like my best friend's wedding, so I was the best man. So
Okay.
Tell me why, like during the wedding, was I sitting on the table trying to watch
Best man.
trying to watch this uncle's
Like,
phone.
where are the rings? Sorry, no, try.
Yeah. So I was trying to keep up with the rugby, but I was like, okay, look, I should probably just be in the moment right now. But I did watch the highlights, and sensational. I wish I could have seen
highlights.
that. I wish I could have seen that in real time,
Yeah,
just for the
yeah,
progression. I sort of like saw all the headlines already before seeing the match. So it must have been really good.
Let's dive straight into it, actually. Let's unpack this Springbok performance. I mean, we discussed it at length, and you guys weren't even on the show last week. And myself and Luke Jacobs, who was on the show with me, we unpacked it at length. I think it was the right team we picked. It certainly is now. It's starting to take shape into what our best starting 15 looks like. And against an Argentinians, I thought the first opening 40 minutes was fairly cagey. I thought, like, jeepers,
Very tight. Very tight.
But it came alive in the second half.
No, that's very true. But that first half was a little concerning. A lot of errors by the Springboks, conceding 7 penalties.
Yeah.
Not great at all. There was a yellow card as well. But then you're right, came out firing. Sasha, I mean, we can't talk enough about the boy. The man. We're not calling him a boy, even though he's young. 37 points all by him. He's lonesome.
Yeah.
I mean, he's
Crazy that's the most points a Bok player scored in a single game.
Percy
You know what's funny
Montgomery.
is I checked Monty. Obviously, he is in second while he led for many years, and he scored his 35 points against Namibia.
Oh wow.
I think it was in the Rugby World Cup.
Yes. Yeah.
This is like a tier 1 nation.
Yes.
Argentina.
Yeah.
I think they're in
Exactly.
the top 5 in the world currently.
Yeah.
To go and score 37
And also, like,
points.
I mean, this wasn't a throwaway game as well. I mean, every single team
there was
that
so
played,
much riding on it.
every single team had something to win here.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like they were in the position where they're like, we can lose a game here. This was a very, very high pressure match. So to put that up with that sort of thing in the background is very impressive.
Look, I know how I feel about his performance, and I know how I feel about Sasha in general. But you think he's now answered all our prayers from a Springbok fly point of view?
I think give him time, and he's got really great mentors.
Yeah.
He's got really great people around him. He's got Andre Pollard there, Mane Lebok. Let's not discount these legendary players. Even Damian Willems. He's got a good team around him. And I saw Rassie Erasmus not really wanting to heap all the praise onto him.
Yeah, I saw that too.
And I kind of get that. Let's give him time because, people love to see, as they say, a hero fall.
Yeah.
Yes.
So they praise him now, and then next week he does something that people don't like, and then they're coming at him. Speaking of that, Cheslin Colby, a rare mistake by him in this weekend's match. Did you see that in the highlights?
I did.
I'm
Everyone
not
was
quite
talking
sure.
about that.
It still baffles my mind how
He,
that all came about.
he gifted
The
them,
Argentinians,
the
yeah.
Argentinians
But I mean,
a
why
try.
he drop kicked the ball and you could see he's clearly passing it to, I think it was to Damien under the post.
Yes, it was.
But why he drop kicks and doesn't kick it out of hand? Like, it's obviously a long distance, so you can't make the pass. So he was going to kick it out of hand, but why he didn't just kick it out of hand?
Yeah.
Instead of drop.
Strange.
Anyway, coming back to Sasha. The kid is a generational talent. He's got the skill sets to match. I mean, he's got a running ability. He's got a passing ability. He plays on the advantage line. He's got a bit of size on his side. There's a lot about him that screams the future. I just think in South Africa, you know how it is. We're building up to break you down. Let him take the time. Again, this weekend, I won't be too disappointed if Rassie goes and picks Mane Lebok at 10. Brings a different dynamic, takes the pressure off Sasha after a performance like that.
Yeah.
Take the pressure off him a little bit. Mane came on and played exceptionally well as well.
Yes.
Maybe even move Sasha to 15. Give Damian Willems a break this week. He comes off the bench at impact, maybe at 12. Yeah. Rassie spoke at length about making sure all the combinations of the Springboks work and not just certain combinations. So certainly getting it right. I mean, I'm eating my words compared to me saying that.
Wait, what did you say?
Well, I mean, a couple of weeks ago, I was the first one to say we need fresh blood, we need fresh. I don't think I eat my words necessarily in terms of coaching staff. I thought we needed fresh coaches. But what I do think we need now, what I do think we've gotten right now is fresh blood in terms of the personnel that we're picking. And that is where the freshness comes from. So fantastic to see it. London, a whole different story. Yeah. The RG still have an outside chance of, dampening our vibe. Picking up a big victory for the Argentinians here, bouncing back from this victory last weekend will mean a lot to them. A wounded RG is a whole different thing. Their mental state is extremely flippant. They're so strong. Yeah. And it comes down to the wire. The All Blacks got to pick up 5 points against Australia. South Africa got to pick up 4 or 5 and then we win it.
Yeah, looking at the table at the moment, South Africa on 15 points.
Yeah.
New Zealand just behind on 14, Australia 11, Argentina 9. So basically, look, Argentina are essentially
they're out of the running.
But it was only the second last game that happened. So it's ours to lose at this point.
Yeah.
Obviously, going up against Argentina again, you would think, given how wide the margin was that we won, it should be a pretty straightforward match. But we've seen with this season in general, it's not always as straightforward. Yeah. So I wanted to actually ask, because we've spoken at length about how Rassie always seems to be experimenting and chopping and changing the team. And I know that you said last time that you think this is probably the strongest team that he's chosen. And I mean, look how well they performed as well.
Yes.
So I'm wondering if he should just say, I'm sticking with what we have, trying to build something here, like sort of keeping that momentum going. Or does he look to actually bring in some new people as well?
Well, look, I certainly don't think he's going to bring in new people. I think that would, I think he's going to obviously pick from within the squad. I think that's number one. And number two, I think it does make sense, it does make sense that you want all the combinations to work. So, for example, Sasha and Damien, we saw over the weekend, worked wonders. Damien's experience with Sasha is great. Can a Damien and a Mane work now? Can maybe a Mane and a Damian Willems 10-12 combination work with Sasha at 15? We know he's got that skill set to play at 50. We know Apalile Fassi's there. So, maybe this weekend, can a Jesse Creel and a Damian Willems work together? These are all different options that he has at his disposal. And I'm not necessarily against them because I don't think it weakens our Springbok team if you go for this weekend. For example, if he went Mane at 10 this week, Damian Willems at 12, and he went Jesse Creel at 13 with maybe Kanan on the wing, it wouldn't be too much changes. I think those combinations still need to be tested. And then we go to the end of year tour, because this is obviously our last test match before the end of year tour. Then we go to the end of year tour, and we all of a sudden have a wide variety of options. You never know what's going to happen in the URC in terms of injuries. And then the whole thing, you know what I mean? So chopping and changing isn't necessarily a bad thing, but I think in the back of his mind now, he certainly does have what looks to be the strongest 23 to wear the Springbok jersey. If the World Cup final was tomorrow, for example. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Definitely.
But
So there
this,
you have it, folks. Leave your comments. Let us know your thoughts. The Springbok team. Where you go? Okay, should we quickly in 1 minute? I want to hear your Springbok team that'll take on Argentina.
Before we end this, though,
Yes.
Women's Rugby World Cup final. England winning. It was England and Canada, number 1 and number 2 in the world. 80,000 spectators.
Wild. That's wild.
Absolutely wild. Biggest crowd and just global support for women's sport. Looking at England, I mean, do you know that they've actually, even though they don't have the accolades, they've been in every single Rugby World Cup final.
Yeah, crazy. I saw those stats.
And they're beaten by the Black Ferns every time.
Every time.
By the Black Ferns every single time. So as much as we praise the Black Ferns, England are right up there. So massive for them.
Isn't it just amazing to see that that Women's Rugby World Cup final was in fact sold out before the first kick of the Rugby World Cup, of the Women's Rugby World Cup had even taken place. That's how much expectation, that's
Amazing.
how much fanfare and craziness there is around women's sport at the moment. And I think it's unbelievable. It's really, really great. And the standard of rugby is second to none. I mean, they really are playing great rugby. John Mitchell, we all know John Mitchell as a coach. And I saw him getting a tattoo of, after the victory.
Yeah,
so
well deserved. Well deserved.
well deserved. Wouldn't it be great to see a Springbok women's team, in a Rugby World Cup final in the near future?
Look, it's very, very possible.
I don't think we're far off. Give us
We are
another 4
not
years.
far off.
We're not far off at all. Speaking of women's sport, should we just continue with the theme of women's sport before we unpack the Tebogo Mokoena situation?
Actually, yes. So the Women's Cricket World Cup is starting today, of course. Today's Tuesday, and I know that this is aired on Thursday.
Yes.
And so today, of course, it's India versus Sri Lanka.
Yeah.
And basically playing on the same pitch that South Africa will be facing England on Friday.
Okay, so we should get quite a bit of information.
So we should get a lot of information, but just I was looking at the pitch report and just seeing how the men's teams have fared on this particular pitch. Seems to be high scoring, very high scoring.
Laura Wolfart's going to come to the party.
Exactly. And I'm so excited because I actually made notes of the team that has been selected, the different...
Tara came with proper notes today.
I did come with proper notes because obviously Captain Laura Wolfart is in the mix and she is so strong and so experienced, but Marazan Cap is there as well.
Yes.
And we know her. She's made other people become really excited about women's cricket in this country. And this will be her 5th ICC Women's Cricket World Cup. Her fifth, yes, 5.
And do they play every 4 years?
They play, it's T20 and 50 overs. Yeah. So that's how she's been involved in that. Chloe Tryon also, she became the first woman to score a half century and take a hat-trick in the same ODI. And that was against Sri Lanka. So very exciting stuff. Sune Luce, we know her as well. She retired hurt in the warm-up, the warm-up match against Pakistan before the Cricket World Cup. But I heard her in the post-match presser and she sounded in great spirits. So I don't think it's anything serious. And I think that we'll be seeing a lot from her. And then Annika Bosch also, she's in the mix. And you were talking now about Laura Wolfart and our top order batters. They're very strong. But Sune Luce and Annika Bosch, let's not discount them. In the warm-up match, both of them hitting half centuries, which means that we have that going all the way through that batting lineup. And that's very exciting for me. And then, of course, also our bowlers, Ayabonga Kaka, she's played over 100 ODIs, which is spectacular, that kind of experience. And maybe she doesn't have all the wickets that you'd expect, but her she's very economical. Let's put it that way. So you want somebody to slow that run rate, you bring her in right there. There's Tume Sekukune, who's also involved. But Tasman Brits, she is a strong batter. Now, when you talk about a batting lineup, she is fantastic. She was actually a javelin thrower before.
Oh, really?
Was going to be an Olympian, but then was in a horrific car accident. And she actually had to learn to walk again.
Sure.
Listen, let me tell you something about our women's cricket team. I feel like this is another story of them. They've gone so under the radar. They pick up big results. And we're not, again, I feel like, and I hate to say it because I don't want to put the mockers on them, this commentator's curse story, but they've gone under the radar for so long. They pick up big results. I watched them, they played in a tournament or a tri-series or whatever it may be, and they won the tri-series with the game to spare. I do worry about our depth from a women's cricket point of view. I think our starting 11, call it starting 13, with our reserves and so forth, is fairly well sort of, we know they are.
Cemented.
Cemented, yes. The depth coming through, maybe something to worry about a little bit. But that being said, the dark horses of this World Cup may just be our very own South Africans.
100%.
What would you say before the tournament kicks off would be a good result for this ladies team?
I can see them making it all the way through to the final.
Oh wow, really?
And I know that England are looking there for their 5th World Cup title. Obviously Australia is strong. Obviously that we're playing in India, and that's a whole different ball game entirely. But I do believe that our women can make it through to the final. And you speak about depth. We do have young talent coming through. There's club cricket being played. There's first-class cricket that we do see. And some amazing talent coming through. In fact, I was just talking to Adrian before the show about Karabo Meso. She's 18 years old. She's been included in our World Cup squad. She's a wicketkeeper, batter. And she literally turned 18 like a week and a half ago.
Sure.
So there's a young player coming through, young talent, and that's what we want to see with our squad. Because even the names that I mentioned and all the experience that they have, like Sune's 25 years old. She's not old, but she's been playing since she was 16 years old. Sure. And that's why we look at her and we're like, oh, this is the experienced players. But I'm excited. I think we can make it through to the final. I would love for us to lift a trophy. What do you think, Adrian?
It would be great to lift the trophy in general, but I think also, given the fact that the prize pool for this World Cup is so big.
Oh, really? Tell us more.
So the total prize pool for this World Cup is £10 million. Okay.
Jeepers.
£10 million, which the last time it took place, it was 2.5 million pounds. So that just shows how much it's grown into the prize pool.
Has that grown that much?
And also the interesting thing is the team who wins it, they receive 3.3 million pounds, which actually is more than
the total prize pool.
The men's team who won in the 2023 World Cup. That was Australia. They received 2.9 million pounds. This team that's winning in this one's getting 3.3. So already there's a bigger prize than the men's World Cup that took place 2 years ago. So I think it just sort of shows like all the countries involved, everyone involved, the ICC is just like, look, we are backing women's cricket. We are going to invest. We're going to put our money where our mouth is. And imagine what this money would do. I mean, 3.3 million pounds for.
Listen, can we convert it? You have like a calculator.
Well, pounds is
60
million rand for women's cricket. Isn't that amazing? For me, it's just great to see the investment into women's sport in general and the cricket. I mean, the numbers being thrown around in the stuff like the SA20 and all that, the IPLs is crazy.
Yes.
So to see these numbers now being spoken in women's cricket is fantastic. And I was talking to you earlier about the South Africa's results. I actually just pulled it up very quickly, but South Africa's tour of Pakistan. I mean, we won by 25 runs in the first one. Obviously, it was Duckworth Lewis method. Yeah. Then the Pakistan women won, but they won the final match, but just because we made so many changes. We'd already won the series 2-0 in the 3-match series before we made all those changes. So we're coming off the back of good results. They're riding high with that prize pool that you've just spoken about now. Maybe there's some... what do you call it? Some hidden gems that are going to be unearthed in terms of women's cricket.
I hope so.
Let's get behind our women's cricket. Look how fantastic that is. I mean, Tara's got the
I do.
It's a cricket shirt on.
I do.
Actually, maybe next week we gotta start wearing the kit of the team we're supporting.
And I think that we are so big on Bok Friday.
Yes.
For the duration of the Women's Cricket World Cup, I think this Friday and maybe the rest of the Fridays,
I like this, Tara.
we need to come and wear our cricket jerseys. We need to be in support of our ladies because they're out there. We have shown that as a nation, we can stand behind our teams. So let's stand behind our Protea ladies.
And if our Proteas ladies want to give us free shirts, we would.
We love that new shirt. We love that new shirt.
Oh, yes, I do like the new shirt.
It looks great.
Let's have, Morgan, can you have a word with our sponsors?
Yeah.
Cricket ladies, we're getting behind you 100%. Come on. Okay, speaking of getting behind it, the Bafana shirt, we can give one of those as well. Maybe I'll wear the Bafana shirt. You can wear cricket and Adrian can wear rugby because I know you own a rugby shirt.
Yeah, I'll wear the rugby shirt. I don't want to wear the Bafana shirt.
You don't want to? What's going on there, dude? Tebogo Mokoena, talk us through
Deeply disappointed.
Yeah.
So the gist of it is, Tebogo Mokoena has been docked. Well, I shouldn't say Tebogo Mokoena. Bafana have been docked 3 points because of his ineligibility playing. But I want to read this to you, and it comes off the Instagram of Mike Morton Football. So, Mike, I hope you don't mind me reading off your Instagram.
I saw this as well. I was actually like, we should mention this.
Yeah, because
it's very well. It's very well explained.
Mike Morton's actually he's visited us on my play-by-play 8 to 9 every Saturday morning. He's come on the show before. And there is nobody in South African rugby, I feel right now, that's more educated when it comes to what's happening on the ground than Mike Morton. So, Mike, I hope you don't mind, but I'm actually going to read verbatim from Michael's Instagram.
Oh, my goodness.
He goes on to say, this is not the player's responsibility. Tebogo Mokoena, listen to this. It's wild. Tebogo Mokoena received the first yellow card on the 18th of November, 2023.
Sure.
Bafana then played 13 games, including an AFCON tournament. 7 months later, Tebogo Mokoena then receives his second yellow card on the 11th of June, 2024. Bafana then play another 8 games in AFCON qualifications. On the 21st of March, 2025, Tebogo Mokoena plays against Lesotho, the game that he was supposed to be suspended for. That means 21 Bafana games and 19 months after his first yellow card, he was supposed to be suspended. In the same period, how's this? He played 84 games for Sundowns and picked up 24 yellow cards.
Sure.
As a South African, we want answers and we want to know who's at fault here. But this can never be the player's responsibility.
No, I agree. I mean, like you just mentioned now, he was playing so much football.
Yeah.
Safa, my problem is with you, actually. Like this should never be the case. We are trying to qualify for a World Cup for the first time in many, many years, and we're not counting 2010 because that was just because it was here.
That was automatic.
That was automatic qualification. Yeah. I'm so deeply disappointed because we were looking so good, and now we docked Lesotho handed a 3-0 win over Bafana. We no longer sitting at the top of the group, and all because somebody couldn't keep track of this. It's your job. Just like it's your job to know what you're talking about when you're on air.
What's so interesting was because I just assumed, they had fielded an individual player. I thought, okay, this guy picked up a yellow card in the previous match.
Yes, that
and I was like,
me.
This is so dumb.
I had the same thing.
Everyone should know that. Obviously, you don't. But realizing, no, actually, this is stretchbacks almost like 2 years ago. I'm trying to remember now because I think with FIFA, usually if you get
But doesn't your yellow cards run out?
Yeah, so usually within a season, like if you play within a season in like the Premier League, you get what if you pick up 5 yellow cards, then you get a 1 match ban basically. But that resets
over every season.
So surely because the qualifiers technically happen over quite a long time, they can't be held to the same standard, can they? Because does that mean that you can then only pick up 2 yellow cards in the 2-year period? Which doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense to me.
So I don't know if that's just an issue also.
But
with
if you
FIFA.
are Safa, you know this information.
That's the thing. You should
like
know
we
that,
can try and dissect it and say it's right or it's wrong, but the rules are the rules.
Are they going to appeal now? Because what are they going to appeal?
They are.
What are they going to appeal?
I think they're going to.
Because
that's a great question.
Maybe they're going to say what Adrian just said.
They're going to say, how are we supposed to know?
Yeah.
It's not fair.
Well, let me quickly run through the bit, what the permutations are here now, because it says, not only do we get docked 3 points for fielding Mokoena, we're suspended obviously for the yellow cards, but our goal difference now takes a -5 hit with a 2-0 win against Lesotho, changing to a 3-0 loss.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's a -5 goal difference change.
Sure.
And then if I quickly run through the points now, Benin now sits on 14 points at +4 goal difference. South Africa now sits on 14 points at a +3 goal difference.
Yeah, which is
and Nigeria sits on 11 points with a +2 goal difference. So now it means we need to beat Zimbabwe and Rwanda.
Yes.
Hoping that Nigeria do us a favor against Benin in the last game for us to qualify outright.
And what we really what we were hoping for was not having to hope for other results.
No, but why does this always happen? This always happens with every time. We have to hope for another team to win for us to win.
Laughable.
Or it's the ref doing something that he shouldn't because he's been paid off.
Come on, hop on the WhatsApp. Not the WhatsApp line. Sorry, hop onto our comments below. On the WhatsApp line you do on a Saturday morning. Hop into the comments below and let us know your thoughts. Tebogo Mokoena now. South Africa taking a -5 goal hit. I mean, it's just. After the performance, Hugo Bruce has put in so much work with this team. They are performing well. They're finally getting the pride back in South African football. And then we go and do something so silly like field an eligible player. I mean, surely let us know your thoughts in your comments because I really, really want to know what the public think about this. I suppose that's really it, guys. I mean, we don't want to go too much further. We're almost running out of time here. But I mean, in passing, what's your weekend looking like in terms of sport? We always want to touch on Premier League football very quickly. I mean, Manchester United
right.
goes down again.
Oh my goodness.
I don't want to talk about that.
I actually don't want to touch on that too much.
Don't
I don't want to
you?
touch on either. Arsenal.
Okay,
yeah.
so wait, so
we can
Man
move on,
United,
we
of
can
course,
move on.
lost to Brentford, and there's been a lot
Yeah,
of
we don't want to talk
talks
about that. Let's talk about Arsenal.
about
Let's talk about Liverpool. They also
With,
actually. Wait a second, Morgan.
Good point.
Liverpool
Yes.
also lost this weekend. Actually,
the
I mean,
real conversation is whether they're going to replace Amorim.
no. I mean,
And the
Leave
talk
Amorim
about
for now. Maybe Liverpool. They lost. What was this?
okay,
yeah, Liverpool lost 2-1. By the way,
Liverpool lost 2-1.
They're only 2 points on top of the table.
okay,
right
but
now.
but
And
now
how
let's
lucky
but
did
let's
Arsenal
bring it
get to
back.
come
And in
back?
fact, Liverpool could have actually lost multiple of their games.
I
They got
agree. I
many
don't
legs.
disagree. There's holes in that defense, and like we haven't been keeping a clean sheet at all, or Liverpool rather, not we, because I am of course not playing for the team, but
You support us or you claim your teams.
Yeah, you can say it.
but you know what? It was their first loss, and maybe it was needed, but also they were missing Ekatike. Very stupid mistake by Ekatike, taking his shirt off in the Carabao Cup.
Yeah.
I know, how silly is that?
Exactly. That was
The
very,
first one
very
was to throwing the
silly.
ball away or something. The second one was taking his shirt off.
Taking his shirt
So
off.
actually,
so-
no in-play fouls did he commit to get
Exactly.
two yellows.
And I kind of understand it, and maybe you would enjoy a little bit of rivalry between players when it comes to positions. But still, that was very, very stupid and arrogant from him. And I think what Arne Slot was saying afterwards, the conversation that he had with him, I think that's right. You know, Arne Slot doesn't stand for that. But we really needed him in that match against Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace has had our number.
true.
And speaking of Crystal Palace in relationship to Man United, Crystal Palace, very same system as Man United, but it's been working for Crystal Palace. They are now the only unbeaten team in the Premier League. So I'm probably looking at Man United's going to be looking to Crystal Palace, maybe grab a hold of that manager.
Well, I think the problem, the difference there is simply, as a United fan, they've got the right players in the right positions.
So-
we're just playing. I mean, we cannot be playing Bruno Fernandes in a 6 when he's not a 6, he's an 8.
Yeah.
He should be playing on the front line. He should not be playing as deep as he is. He's a creator. You know, I love Casemiro. I mean, he's did for Real Madrid and so forth. He was unbelievable. But the amount, this formation, this 3-4-3, puts so much pressure on your fitness, on your work rate. We just don't have the right players. I mean, Luke Shaw's one mistake over the weekend. It's just unforgivable. We haven't got the right players. We can't play a 3-4-3 with, I love Maguire. I think he's come out of his shell. He's starting to play good football. But he just doesn't have the wheels to play centre-back in this formation. We just can't play a high line and expect him to track back against strikers that are 10 times quicker than him.
Yeah.
And here's this from a guy that's not that engrossed in football. I mean, surely Amorim can see this and make some changes. It's not rocket science, I don't think we're talking about here.
He said the Pope won't even let me make me change my tactics.
He did say that. He's very firm, and it seems for now that Man United is firm in sticking with him.
Yeah.
And surely there's some other problems going on there because it can't always be the manager, as you mentioned before.
I saw Gareth Southgate's name being thrown around.
I did see that as well.
Oh, man.
I know that
I
doesn't-
do think that Glasner, he is Crystal Palace's manager. I think he would be a good choice.
Oh,
I do, just because it's working
the
for
one that's
him.
made me excited is that Xavi Hernandez, obviously the former Barcelona
Yes.
player and manager, his name's been floating around.
I want Zidane.
That would, you see, I think we need to bring in a manager that is just a serial winner and like has a resume, because we've been bringing managers who have had success, but not like at a massive scale. And like someone like Zidane is a statement signing that doesn't take any nonsense, has experience with the best team in the world.
But I think he can't speak English.
Oh, is it?
And that's the problem. So he's rumor has it he's been taking English lessons to try and up his English at the potential thought of maybe getting a job in England at some point. I don't know. I don't want to start another rumor here, but
Maybe you guys should have snapped up Nuno Espirito Santo, because he's now at West Ham.
Yeah, but that guy goes everywhere with like
But
every struggling team.
wherever he goes, that team has a massive turnaround.
Yeah, Forest. I mean, West Ham picked up their first win of the season against against Everton. Oh no, wait,
No,
It wasn't a win, it was a draw. It was a draw.
It was
Everton
looking
still
like a win.
unbeaten at home at their new stadium. We won't count
Yeah.
their under 18s losing to Wigan, which was their first game.
Oh, well, folks, there you have it. What another jam-packed episode. Of course, just remember, a reminder also, you can catch Play by Play, the on-air product, every Saturday morning, 8 to 9 a.m. Thank you once again to these amazing, amazing sports nuts next to me, Tara Lee and Adrian Endley, keeping us informed of all things from cricket to rugby to soccer now. And make sure you get behind our ladies on Friday. They're playing on Friday
Oh, they're
against
playing
the
on
English. Do you know what
Yes.
time it is?
Is it 11:30?
Round about 11:30. Let's
We'll
get
be
behind
in
our ladies. They're in another World Cup. We just finished the rugby. We performed really well. Now the ladies are performing on the cricketing front. And then, of course, also on Saturday, South Africa up against Argentina in the final. Curtain come down. Is that even the thing? Curtain come down of the curtain closer.
Curtain call.
Curtain call. That's what I'm looking for.
Curtain call.
Of the United Rugby Championship. If the Boks pick up 5 points, we retain the URC, the Rugby Championship for the first time since I think it was 2012 or something that we won it back to back. So lots of sport taking place this weekend. Also Premier League action. I mean, thank you so much, guys. That's I suppose a wrap, right?
No,
What are you most looking forward to this weekend?
I'm gonna try and get out to the stadium on Friday to go watch the Stormers.
We haven't
Oh,
even
lovely.
spoken URC.
I know,
We
I
did
know,
speak
I know.
URC
There's
and
just too much
against
happening.
Leinster.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Okay, I
But-
promise. Next week we'll
Yes.
talk all things URC. Adrian's going to the game, so he's going to try and get as much footage, as much interviews.
Yes.
We're going to force him to work while he's there.
100%. Hopefully, he'll pick up another win, make it 2 wins on the trot, and then what a great start to the URC without, missing a few key players as well.
Yeah,
Exactly.
No, interesting. And you, Tara, what you most looking forward to? The cricket on Friday. Right?
I am. I'm most looking forward to the cricket. Of course, there's also Champions League back this weekend.
Yes.
Well, not this weekend, this week. Liverpool are taking on Galatasaray. And yeah, so I'll be watching Cricket World Cup as well as rugby, URC as well as Rugby Championship.
There you have it, folks. So much to enjoy. Thank you so much for joining us again. Reminder, catch me every Saturday morning, 8 to 9 a.m. only on Good Up FM, Cape Town's original. Catch you guys again next week, same time, same place. Goodbye, everybody.
Woo!